Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. I'm your host, Ellen, and today we are looking at 100 questions from the 60s. Remember when milk came in glass bottles and the Beatles ruled the radio? When phone operators connected your calls and everyone watched the same three channels? Let's test your memory of the swinging 60s. And let's begin. Which president appeared on the first live televised presidential debates in 1960? Lyndon Johnson, John F. Kennedy, or Richard Nixon? John F. Kennedy. Which Beatles song was number one for 7 weeks in 1964? I Want to Hold Your Hand, Love Me Do, or Please Please Me? Excuse me. I Want to Hold Your Hand. Who was the beloved host of the American children's television show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Captain Kangaroo, Fred Rogers, or Bob Ross? Fred Rogers. What 1970s dance craze was popularized by John Travolta in the film Saturday Night Fever? The hustle, disco, or the electric slide? Think back now. Disco. Orson Welles' 1938 radio broadcast of which H.G. Wells story famously caused a panic among some listeners? Journey to the Center of the Earth, The War of the Worlds, or The Time Machine? Can you recall? The War of the Worlds. What was the nickname for the Volkswagen Type 2 vehicle, an icon of the 1960s counterculture movement? The Love Bug, the Microbus, or the Station Wagon? Do any of these sound familiar to you? The Microbus. Which DeLorean car was famously converted into a time machine in the 1985 film Back to the Future? Ferrari 288 GTO, the DeLorean DMC-12, or Lotus Esprit? Does that ring a bell to you? DeLorean DMC-12. What TV show featured a housewife who was secretly a witch? I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, or The Addams Family? Bewitched. What style of trousers, extremely wide from the knee down, was a fashion staple of the 70s? Pegged trousers, bell bottoms, or drain pipe trousers? Think back. Bell bottoms. Which chocolate bar's TV advert featured the jingle about helping you work, rest, and play? Marathon, Mars Bar, or Milky Way? Mars Bar. Which TV news anchor was called the most trusted man in America? Walter Cronkite, Chet Huntley, or John Chancellor? Walter Cronkite. Unforgettable Walter Cronkite. What teenage girls magazine was launched in 1964? Valentine, Jackie, or Petticoat? Jackie. And let's go back. Which soda company used the slogan, "Things go better with"? Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, or Dr. Pepper? Can you remember? Things go better with Coca-Cola. Which royal event was first broadcast live on television in 1953? Royal wedding, coronation, or the state opening? The coronation. Can you imagine the scene? What TV show featured the Clampett family? Green Acres, The Beverly Hillbillies, or Petticoat Junction? The Beverly Hillbillies. Which radio station broadcasts from Luxembourg at 208 meters? BBC Light Program, Radio Caroline, or Radio Luxembourg? Radio Luxembourg. Which colorful candy promised they wouldn't make a mess in your pocket on hot days? Skittles, Smarties, or M&Ms? We all remember M&Ms. Let's see if you remember this one. Which seaside resort was famous for its illuminations? Brighton, Bournemouth, or Blackpool? Blackpool. What was the name of the popular automat-style restaurant where you put coins in slots to get food in the 1960s? Horn and Harder, White Tower, or Chock full of Nuts? Horn and Harder. What was the nickname for the music listening booths found in record shops? The sound box, the listening post, or the tune booth? The tune booth. So how are you doing so far? Let us know. Which cheerful mascot first appeared on television commercials in the mid-1960s to promote hamburgers to children? The Burger King, Ronald McDonald, or Jack Box? Ronald McDonald. Which BBC TV program started each episode with, "And it's good night from me"? The Two Ronnies, Morecambe and Wise, or The Generation Game? Who can recall this one? The Two Ronnies. Let's take ourselves back to 1969. The music festival in upstate New York became a symbol of the counterculture movement. Live Aid, Monterey Pop Festival, or Woodstock? Woodstock. Let's see if this next question takes you back. Which washing machine had two separate tubs for washing and spinning? Single tub, twin tub, or top loader? Twin tub. Let's see if you remember this one. What simple coiled wire toy invented in the 1940s was famous for its ability to walk downstairs? The hula hoop, the slinky, or the yo-yo? This takes me back. The slinky. What sweet shop confection comes in a yellow packet with sherbet powder? Licorice all sorts, mint humbug, or sherbet lemon? Sherbet lemon. Which hairstyle required sleeping in large rollers and heavy teasing? Flip, pixie cut, or the beehive? I can imagine the ladies wearing them. The beehive. Which furniture polish was advertised with a smell like Mr. Sheen, Pledge, or Johnson's Wax. I remember the smell vividly. Mr. Sheen. What breakfast food was advertised as kid-tested, mother-approved? Frosted Flakes, Kick cereal, or Lucky Charms? Kix cereal. What dance style originated in British coffee bars in the 1950s, that golden era? Jiving, skiffle, or rock and roll? Skiffle. What TV dinner brand was first sold in 1953 and peaked in the 1960s? Banquet, Stouffer's, or Swanson? Does that ring a bell? Swanson. Which kitchen appliance was essential for making proper British chips? Electric kettle, the pressure cooker, or the chip pan? The chip pan. Tell us if you had one of those. Which magazine was founded in 1944 specifically for teenage girls? Tiger Beat, 17, or Teen Beat? Seventeen. I remember countless hours with 17 magazine. What hairstyle was named after a London fashion district? Chelsea cut, Mod cut, or Carnaby cut? Chelsea cut. What department store catalog was called the Big Book? Montgomery Ward, Sears, or J.C. Penney? Sears. Which gentle BBC radio program invited young children to gather around the wireless each afternoon? Children's Hour, Listen with Mother, or Andy Pandy? Listen with Mother. What candy bar was advertised as packed with peanuts? Babe Ruth, Payday, or Snickers? Snickers. What Sunday evening TV show featured Down at the Old Bull and Bush? Sunday Night at the London Palladium, The Billy Cotton Band Show, or The Val Doonican Show? Tell us if you remember this program. The Billy Cotton Band Show. Which car feature became standard on most 1960s models for safety? Seatbelts, turn signals, or backup lights? Seatbelts. Let's keep those memories flowing. Which dairy company delivered milk in glass bottles each morning? Express Dairies, United Dairies, or Cooperative Dairies? You really have to travel back in time for this. Express Dairies. What kitchen appliance brand had the slogan, "Set it and forget it"? The rival Crock-Pot, Ronco Rotisserie, or Presto pressure cooker? The Ronco Rotisserie. What telephone system required asking the operator to connect calls? Party line, manual exchange, or automatic exchange? This is an oldie also. Manual exchange. Let's see if you remember this one. What fabric was DuPont's miracle fiber of the 1960s? Nylon, polyester, or rayon? Polyester. Which football magazine collected player cards and stickers? Shoot, Match, or Football Monthly? Shoot. We are at question 45. Let's keep going. Which host was famous for showing what was behind door number 1, 2, 3, or Let's Make a Deal? Monty Hall, Gene Rayburn, or Alan Ledden? This takes us back to the golden era of television. Monty Hall. What cinema snack was sold by Kia Ora vendors? Ice cream, orange drink, or popcorn? Orange drink. What shoe style had a distinctive strap across the instep? Go-go boots, Mary Jane's, or saddle shoes? Mary Jane's. What footwear style was associated with the mod subculture? Winkle pickers, Chelsea boots, or brothel creepers? Chelsea boots. What laundry product promised to get clothes whiter than white? Daz, Sheer, or All? Keep counting how many you've got right. Tell us in the comments. Daz. Which Sunday newspaper was known for its sensational headlines? The Observer, News of the World, or the Sunday Telegraph? News of the World. Which portable radio was small enough to fit in your pocket? The transistor radio, crystal radio, or tube radio? The transistor radio. What synthetic fabric was marketed as the miracle fiber? Nylon, Crimpline, or Terylene? Crimpline, if you recall. What car company made the GTO muscle car? Ford, Chevrolet, or Pontiac? The Pontiac. Tell us if you've had one of these cars in the past. Which soft drink was advertised as the appetizer? Corona, Cherryade, or Tizzer? Tizzer. Which drive-in restaurant chain had car hops on roller skates? A&W, Sonic, or Dog and Suds? Sonic. Tell us if you've been to one of these. What breakfast cereal promised to build Bonnie babies? Cornflakes, Ready Breck, or Weetabix? Weetabix. What fizzy candy, popular from the 1970s, created a popping sensation in your mouth? I can still feel that. Nerds, Pop Rocks, or Fun Dips? Pop Rocks. What fashion trend featured extremely short hemlines? Maxi dress, miniskirt, or the A-line dress? And of course, it is the miniskirt. Which variety show featured the June Taylor Dancers? The Jackie Gleason Show, the Carol Burnett Show, or the Dean Martin Show? The Jackie Gleason Show. We are on question 60. Let's keep going. What daytime radio program was subtitled A Story of a Doctor's Wife? Mrs. Dale's Diary, The Archers, or Woman's Hour? Mrs. Dale's Diary. What makeup look featured heavy black lines around the eyes? Mod makeup, natural look, or the pinup style? Mod makeup. Which model kit company was famous for aircraft and ship models? Revell, Airfix, or Tamiya? Airfix. Which hair product promised a little dabble do ya? Brylcreem, Fidelis, or Wild Root Cream Oil? Brylcreem. Okay, let's take ourselves back. What school meal beverage came in small glass bottles? Milk, orange squash, or Ribena? Milk. Let's go back. Which fast food chain's 1960s advertisements featured a little old lady demanding more substantial burgers? McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's? I remember she was very funny. Wendy's. Which Saturday evening TV show featured Bruce Forsyth? Sunday Night at the London Palladium, The Generation Game, or Beat the Clock? The Generation Game. Let's see if you remember our next one. What men's magazine was first published in 1953? GQ, Playboy, or Esquire? Playboy. What cosmetic item was essential for the Dolly Bird look? Pale lipstick, false eyelashes, or powder compact? False eyelashes. Before home video, what type of outdoor cinema required people to watch films from their cars? Picture Palace, Multiplex, or the drive-in theater? The drive-in theater. We are at question 70. Which industrial sound marked the end of the working day? Church bells, factory hooter, or the train whistle? Can you think back to that time? The factory hooter. What iconic instant camera brand produced a physical photo just moments after a picture was taken? Kodak Instamatic, Polaroid, or Viewmaster? I think this takes us all back. The Polaroid, of course. What type of establishment served frothy coffee to teenagers? Milk bar, coffee bar, or the soda fountain? The coffee bar. What car accessory hung from the rear view mirror? An air freshener, fuzzy dice, or a religious medallion? Let's see if you can recall this one. Fuzzy dice. And tell us in the comments if you had fuzzy dice. Which hairstyling product came in aerosol cans? Setting lotion, hair lacquer, or brilliantine? Hair lacquer. What revolutionary Sony device, first released in 1979, allowed people to listen to cassette tapes on the go? The Discman, the Walkman, or the boombox? The Walkman. Which cut of meat was traditional for Sunday dinner? Beef roast, leg of lamb, or pork joint? Beef roast. I can just picture it. What record speed played most pop singles? At what speed did it play? 33 RPM, 45, or 78? Can you recall this one? 45 RPM. What men's magazine featured pinup girls and humor? Bravo, Men Only, or Tidbits? Men Only. Let's see if you remember this one. Which home video format beat Betamax in the 1980s format war? Laserdisc, VHS, or DVD? VHS. Let's keep those memories going. Which clothing item was worn with a coordinating cardigan? Twin set, shift dress, or the circle skirt? Twin set. And let's go back in time. What perfume was advertised as the costliest perfume in the world? Chanel No. 5, Joy, or White Shoulders? Joy. What confection required dipping a lollipop in sherbet powder? Sherbet dab, flying saucer, or love heart? The sherbet dab, excuse me. What was the name of the Cuban band leader husband in the beloved sitcom that made Lucille Ball a household name? Fred Mertz, Desi Arnaz, or Ricky Ricardo? Ricky Ricardo. Which takeaway meal was wrapped in newspaper on Fridays? Chinese, fish and chips, or Indian curry? Excuse me. Fish and chips. Let's see if our next question rings a bell. Which airline's iconic Worldport terminal at JFK Airport was a symbol of the jet age? TWA, Pan Am, or United Airlines? Pan Am. What car modification showed sporting aspirations? Chrome bumpers, go faster stripes, or white wall tires? Go faster stripes. Let's step into the past with our next question. What was the common term for a phone line shared by multiple households? A conference line, a community line, or a party line? A party line. Which alcoholic drink was served as sophisticated gatherings? Gin and tonic, sherry, or whiskey and soda? Sherry. What root beer brand has Bite? A&W, Barks, or Mug? Barks. Let's keep those memories flowing. Which colorful geometric puzzle became every teenager's obsession in the late 60s? The 15 puzzle, Soma Cube, or the Magic Square? The Soma Cube. What did families across America gather around their television sets to watch on July 20th, 1969? The first color TV broadcast, the moon landing, or the Beatles on Ed Sullivan? This is going way back. The moon landing, of course. Which day of the week was traditional for high street shopping? Friday, Saturday, or Thursday? When did people shop in those days? Saturday. Nothing has changed. What soft drink was first marketed as the Uncola? 7-Up, Sprite, or Mountain Dew? 7-Up. Let's keep traveling back in time with question 94. What fragrance brand was associated with English lavender? Yardley, 4711, or Evening in Paris? Yardley. Which popular children's game challenged you to link plastic primates together in a chain? Blinky, Barrel of Monkeys, or Mr. Potato Head? Barrel of Monkeys. Let's cast our minds back. Which item of clothing did fathers wear even in hot weather? Waistcoat, tie, or jacket? A jacket. Which high street chemist was famous for its own brand products and lending libraries? Boots, Superdrug, or Lloyd's? Can you recall? Boots. Question 98. What ended BBC television broadcasts each night? The weather forecast, the national anthem, or late night film? Think back. The national anthem. What was the model number of the classic red telephone box still common in the 60s? K6, K2, or K8? K6. Our last question. What hot beverage was prepared in Italian espresso machines? Tea, frothy coffee, or hot chocolate? Frothy coffee. And for our bonus question, complete this famous phrase. One small step for man, one giant leap for what? Let us know the answer in the comments and how well you did with our quiz class Einstein rewards. We'd love to know. We hope you enjoyed it and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.